If you've done Amazon FBA for any amount of time, here's a scenario we can all relate to. A small box isn't big enough and a medium box is too big, or a medium box is too small and a large box is too big, but you want to send it off and you don't have the perfect size box. It doesn't always work that way. So I'm going to show you how you can break down any box to fit snugly and perfectly, A, saving you money, and B, keeping the product from bouncing around or getting smushed. And those are the reasons you want to do this. There's no need to pay for airspace because you get charged on dimension and weight. So 1 pound in a huge box is not going to be charged the same as 1 pound in a very tiny box, right? So no need to pay for space you're not using. And also, like I said, to keep the product nice and snug and protected instead of bouncing around or getting smushed. All right, so the first thing I want to mention is that I like to use leftover brown bags or bubble wrap that comes in through online arbitrage packages or retail arbitrage at the grocery store, whatever. Any spots around the side, I like to put them in there so that it's already nice and tight. And then from there, I'm going to go show you how I chop down this box to get it nice and snug. What you're going to want is either a box cutter or a Scotty peeler. And now I'm going to show you inside the box. So basically what you want to do is mark the highest point in the box. These are all the same exact products, so they're perfectly level, but sometimes one thing's a little bit higher than the others. You want to get them as flat as possible. It's not always perfect. But then what you'll do with either tool, you're going to go to the highest point. And I don't get too particular with this. I just eye it. I go into one edge and then I just cut up. So I score it. Okay? And now what I do is the same on this side. Okay? And now before just folding it over and pressing it down, I'm going to score also along the high point where I made my marks. I'm not a perfectionist with this at all. So I just kind of ballparked it, and that makes it easier to collapse. And then what I do is go across from it. So same thing, the high point. This time I'll do it with the Scotty peeler just to show you. I'm not too precise with this. I'm eyeing it. And then from here, once again, just scoring across, pressing down. And now from here, all you have to do, it's really simple. Score, making sure not to go all the way across it. And then once again on this side, and scoring here. And now from here, you're just gonna wanna tape it up and do what you have to do. Sometimes, since it's not perfect, you have some overage, like right here. You can just kind of slice that off if it bothers you. Tape it down. And now it's not moving anywhere. It's nowhere for it to go. And you're saving a couple bucks as well. Allow me to mention one other thing. If there was only like an inch on the top or an inch on the side, I honestly would just use bubble wrap or brown bag or whatever I have available to just fill that gap, if it's an inch or 2 or even 3. But once it gets to be above that, that's when I prefer to break it down and be more snug. So just know, I don't do this every single time if a box isn't filled exactly to the top. But for an instance like this, I probably had 8 inches of gap and some on the sides as well. It was just a no-brainer. So that's it. As you can see, a super simple process. I'm not overly methodical with it, but this is something everybody is going to have to encounter. Personally, I like the razor blade a little bit more, but they both work great. Just be careful when you're doing it. And that's it. Just a little tiny thing that everybody needs to know that does FBA. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm Jonathan. Duke does Amazon. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.